Mic check 1, 2, 3. Mic check 1, 2, 3. Mic check 1, 2, 3. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Woodbine Mohawk Park on this Friday, June 16th, 2023. Today we have 11 two-year-old qualifiers, all for colts and geldings. Qualifier number 1 here, full field that was listed to go forward. That's a group of 8 moving up and taking their positions. Number 1 is Enforcer. Doug McNair driving for trainer Greg McNair. That's the son of Big Jim, owned by Aaron Waxman, Alan Albert, and Dave Jarvis. $35,000 London Classic yearling sale purchase. The 2 is Surf Rider, Sunshine Beach Colt, owned by Bob McIntosh Stables, Al McIntosh Holdings, Bob McIntosh Trains. The driver will be Tyler Jones. 3 is At Ease Hanover, a $12,000 Harrisburg yearling buy, owned by Dr. Ian Moore, Gordon McComb, Bolton Stables, and James Miller. It'll be Tyler Moore driving for trainer Dr. Ian Moore. 4 is Barstool Mountain. James McDonald drives for trainer Nick Gallucci, gelded son of Sunshine Beach, a homebred from Millar Farms. The 5 is Premier First Star. Louis Waugh will drive for trainer Anthony Beaton. Stay Hungry Colt is owned by Robert Jones. $37,000 Lexington purchase. The 6 is Mickey Ray and Always Be Mickey Colt, owned by Carl Jameson and Jody Jameson. Jody drives, Carl trains. The 7 is Supplemental Fee, Courtly Choice Colt, owned by Blake McIntosh and Tim Klemenchik. Blake McIntosh, the trainer. Bob McClure will drive. And the 8 is Price Control, a gelded son of Control the Moment, owned by Jean Tournay and Roland Trudel. Tournay trains, Sylvain Filion drives, a $24,000 yearling buy out of the London Classic. Horses on gate. And they're off and pacing here in qualifier number 1. And it's Mickey Ray who goes well from the center. That one will go forward. Going to a familiar spot. This is where we saw him in his debut. So it's Mickey Ray to the early lead. Supplemental Fee on the outside. Enforcer to the rail, getting away in 3rd. Settling in 4th will be Premier First Star ahead of Surf Rider. Then we go to At Ease Hanover. Back to the final pair. That's Barstool Mountain and Premier, and the trailer there being Price Control. Some troubles going into the first turn for the 7 Supplemental Fee, but Mickey Ray is up on the point, leading it 29-4 for the opening split. So it's Mickey Ray as they move into the backstretch. A coast-to-coast winner in his debut back on June 2nd. That'd always be Mickey Colt. Stop the clock in 158-2. Home in 27-1. Enforcer, second outing for this son of Big Jim. Rides in second. Break of 3.5. Back to Premier First Star in third. Racing 4th up the backside is Surf Rider. A couple more lengths to At Ease Hanover. That one being tracked by Barstool Mountain. And then we'll go back to Price Control, and Supplemental Fee rounds things out. They're racing past the half in 1 minute and 3/5. Second quarter was paced in 30-4. It's Mickey Ray on the lead, taking them into the final turn. Second remains Enforcer. 2 lengths back then to Premier First Star from 3rd. 4th is Surf Rider. 2 more lengths to At Ease Hanover from 5th. 6th around the final turn is Barstool Mountain. Tracked in 7th then by Price Control, and Supplemental Fee now comes off the rail from the rear of the field. But Mickey Ray stretched out the lead to 3.5 by 3/4 in 129-2. Off the turn and into the stretch of 28-4 third quarter. And Mickey Ray will look to close it out strong. Enforcer's been second from the word go. Going back to Premier First Star in 3rd, but as they come to the 8th pole, it's still Mickey Ray. Enforcer is chasing, and that one closing in a little bit. Jameson takes a peek back, gives a couple whip taps for Mickey Ray. Enforcer up the rail, making it close. Mickey Ray, though, is going to go coast to coast again. Mickey Ray by a length from Enforcer in 2nd. 3rd was Premier First Star. 4th went to Surf Rider, 156-4. Going to move into position now for qualifier number 2. We'll stay on the pace. It's the field of 7 to go forward here. Driver change on the 2. Hoot Bay will be Louis Waugh. And the 4 Thunder Don't Stay, Jonathan Drury. 1 is Better's Rush, a son of Better's Delight, owned by Hut Racing Stable, Blake McIntosh and Pat Woods. Blake McIntosh trains, Bob McClure will drive. $25,000 Ontario Select purchase. 2 is Hoot Bay, gelded son of Big Jim, homebred for Millar Farms. Nick Gallucci trains. The driver is Louis Waugh. 3 is Lou's World, a Sweet Lou colt owned by Gino Toscani, trained by Gary Murner. Sylvan Filion drives, $27,000 Lexington Select purchase. 4 is Thunder Don't Stay, a Stay Hungry colt owned by Tony Beaton, Dave Mercer, and Dave Lumsden, trained by Beaton. The driver will be Jonathan Drury, $37,000 Harrisburg purchase. 5 is Power Master, a Shadow Play colt owned by Ron Nobes, Dave Frey, Frey the trainer, Tyler Borthen the sulky, $9,000 Ontario Select buy. 6 is Freight Air, a Jimmy Freight colt owned by Jack Darling Stables Limited. Darling trains. The driver is Jody Jameson, $55,000 purchase out of Harrisburg. And number 7 is Always a Thrill, a gelded son of Better's Delight, owned by Bob McIntosh Stables, Dave Boyle, and Mardon Stables, trained by Bob McIntosh. The driver is James McDonald. So there's your field of 7 for qualifier number 2. Starting gate to the top of the stretch. Field of 7. 2-year-old pacing colts and geldings. Picking up speed. Here they come for the second. And they're off and pacing, and shooting out goes Freight Air to the early lead. From the rail is Better's Rush. To that one's wheel is Lou's World. Then it is Hoot Bay. Back then to Thunder Don't Stay. Going to be followed by Always a Thrill, and your early trailer is Power Master. To the first turn they go, and up front the leader is Freight Air. It's Freight Air and Jody Jameson on the point, as they'll take them to the opening quarter in front by 3.5 from Better's Rush in second. Third then is Lou's World, and they were by the opening quarter in 29-3. So moving into the backstretch, they'll follow Freight Air. Second, Better's Rush. And now out from third, here comes Lou's World up to attack for Filion. Fourth has been Hoot Bay. Break of about 6 lengths going back to Thunder Don't Stay, who is followed by Always a Thrill. And the trailer is Power Master. So a big move up to the top here in the second quarter from Lou's World. And this Sweet Lou colt is rolling right along up to the midway point. Out in front by 2 lengths from the early leader, Freight Air. The half was hit in 58-2. On to the final turn go the rookie pacers. And they are following the leader, this being Lou's World, a winner in his debut, kicked home in 27 seconds, and here he is leading, racing by 5/8. Back in second is Freight Air, a break of 5. Then to Better's Rush in third. Fourth is Hoot Bay. Then we go to Always a Thrill in the final pair of Thunder Don't Stay and Power Master. But up front, Lou's World in control. 3 quarters, 126-3. Third quarter paced in 28-1, and they spin for home. Lou's World with a couple of lengths on Freight Air, who will try to come up the inside, may actually start to shift towards the outside. As coming down to the rail comes the leader, Lou's World. Back in third is Better's Rush, looking to finish up well as Always a Thrill. Then we go to Hoot Bay, but with a 16th to go, Lou's World with a good-looking performance here this morning. Going to win it by about 2 1/4 lengths. Finishing second was Freight Air. Up for third, Always a Thrill. Then to Better's Rush, and finishing fifth was Hoot Bay. 155-2 for Lou's World. Qualifier number 3 is next. First look at trotters on this Friday morning. Scratch number 3, Triton Sealster, and number 7, Top Mass. It'll be now a field of 6. Note Louis Waugh drives the 6, Arno Mercy. 1 is Silver Bank, a gelded son of the bank, owned by Silver Stables, Marie-Michelle Gabory, trained by Jean Tourney, the driver Sylvain Filion. 2 is Poof. It looks like a Chippendale colt owned by Jane Walker and Tom Smith. Walker trains, Smith drives. 3 is Out. 4 is LMC Mr. Squishy, Archangel colt owned by Loredana Cirillo, who's also the breeder, Pat Houdon the trainer driver. 5 is Our Peaky Blinders, Cadabra colt owned by Tom and Elizabeth Rankin, they're the breeders as well. Greg McNair trains, Doug McNair will drive. The 6 is Arno Mercy, an alarm detector colt, also owned and bred by Tom and Elizabeth Rankin. Greg McNair the trainer, make the driver Louis Waugh. 7 is Out, and 8 is Fortress Louisburg, a Walner colt owned by Gino Toscani, trained by Desiree Jones. Tyler Jones in the bike, $35,000 yearling buy out of Lexington. Field of 6 on the gate for qualifier number 3. 2-year-old Colton Gelding trotters lined up, picking up speed. All right, they're off in trotting here in qualifier number 3. From the outside is Fortress Louisburg. Going second there is LMC Mr. Squishy. Outside is Our Peaky Blinders. Then we go to Silverbank, followed by Arno Mercy and Poof. We had a breaker going into the first turn. Off stride went Our Peaky Blinders. Here is Poof on the lead, leading it by a couple of lengths from LMC Mr. Squishy. Then in third, that is Silverbank. Fourth around the turn, Arno Mercy, followed by Poof, and the breaker was Our Peaky Blinders. 31-2 for the opening quarter. Trotters are into the backstretch, and they are following the leader, this being Fortress Louisburg, and Tyler Jones are up front by a couple of lengths. We had another breaker coming out of the first turn. Poof went off stride. Poof made a break. So the leader continues to be Fortress Louisburg. From second is LMC Mr. Squishy. Then in third is Silverbank, tracked in fourth by Arno Mercy, and back to our breakers, LMC Mr. Squishy, and, or I should say, Our Peaky Blinders, and Poof. The half was hit in 103-3. Fortress Louisburg is the leader as they go to the final turn. Leads it in front by 3. Second, as they're going into that final bend, is LMC Mr. Squishy. Third remains Silverbank, and then in fourth is Arno Mercy. Well back to the breakers, Fortress Louisburg. This Waldner colt now ramping it up and stretches out the lead to 3.5 lengths as they near 3/4. LMC Mr. Squishy also ramps it up. Then in third is Silverbank, and in fourth is Arno Mercy. 3/4 was 132 flat, so a good third quarter there, and Fortress Louisburg's into the stretch. In front by 4. Second, LMC Mr. Squishy. Silverbank third, and coming to the outside, Arno Mercy is going to try and storm home strong into the final 1/8 of the mile. The leader continues to be Fortress Louisburg, still up front by about 3.5, 4 lengths. Good final quarter being shown here by Arno Mercy, who's going to try and get up to edge LMC Mr. Squishy for second. But as they hit the wire, Fortress Louisburg wins it in 2:01 and 3. Looked like LMC Mr. Squishy held on for second from Arno Mercy, and then in fourth was Silverbank. Gate now rolling for qualifier number 4. Field of 7 is moving up. Note Bob McClure drives the 3. That being Smart and Sassy. 2 will be Jonathan Drury driving Roseron Zoltan. Number 1, Lion Sefer. Art Speak Colt, owned and bred by 3 Lions Racing. Anthony Beaton trains. Louis Waugh drives. 2 is Roseron Sultan. McWicked Colt, owned by SSG Stables, trained by Beaton. The driver's Jonathan Drury, $65,000 Lexington buy. 3, Smart and Sassy. Courtly Choice Colt, owned by Hut Racing Stable, Blake McIntosh. Gary Volpe, trained by McIntosh. The driver, Bob McClure, $30,000 Goshen yearling sale purchase. 4, Chivalry Sealster. State Treasurer Colt, owned by Sally McDonald and Paul McDonald, trained by Dr. Ian Moore. Jody Jameson drives, $38,000 London Classic buy. The 5 is Chain Gang, Better's Delight Colt, homebred from Millar Farms, trained by Nick Galucci. The driver is James McDonald. 6 is Island Warrior, an Art Speak Colt, owned by Michael Sergi and Sam Sergi, trained by Greg McNair. Doug McNair drives, $22,000 Lexington purchase. And the 7 is Great Bet, an all bets off colt, owned by the stable, trained by Amy McDonald. Anthony McDonald drives, $29,000 London Classic purchase. Field of 7 on gate for qualifier 4. And they're off and pacing, and Great Bet from the outside in a matter of a few strides just crosses right over in front of everybody, going to the lead. So on the outside here is Chivalry Sealster. This one now will push around and will be the one showing the way. Then 3rd will be Roseron Sultan. 4th, that is Smart and Sassy. 3 across at the back from the rail Lion Sefer. Between horses is Chain Gang, and on the outside is Island Warrior. So it's Chivalry Sealster up front to lead the way by a couple lengths from Great Bet in 2nd. The opening quarter is recorded in 30-1. So the 2-year-old pacing colts and geldings will swing into the backstretch, and Chivalry Sealster, debut qualifier here, rolls along on the lead, up front by 5, make that 6 lengths before 3/8 of the mile is complete. Great Bet is in 2nd. 3rd is Roseron Zoltan. Then in 4th, that is Smart and Sassy. 5th up the backside, Lion Sefer. Then 6th, that is Chain Gang, and Island Warrior is the trailer. But all alone on the lead here is Chivalry Sealster. This one's in front by nearly double digits. Off a 30-1 opening quarter, the half is hit in 59-2. Second quarter was paced in 29-1. And into the final turn goes Chivalry Sealster. Chivalry Sealster all alone. 2nd remains Great Bet. 2 lengths behind that one is Roseron Zoltan in 3rd. 4th into the final turn is Smart and Sassy. In 5th, that does remain Lion Sefer. On that one's helmet 6 is Chain Gang, and Island Warrior is the trailer in 7th. So Chivalry Sealster hasn't had any company for this whole middle half and takes them by 3/4 in 127-4. Off the turn and into the stretch. 28-2 third quarter there for Chivalry Sealster, who will just try to close it out now. Great Bet going to try and reel in the leader. Back in 3rd is Roseron Zoltan. Between horses at 4th, that's Lion Zephyr. Into the final 8th, it is still Chivalry Sealster. Great Bet in 2nd. Still has about 6 lengths to make up, but it's Chivalry Sealster going to go and take qualifier number 4. Great Bet finishes in 2nd. 3rd was Roseron Zoltan, and finishing up strong, Chain Gang was 4th, 157 flat. Up next, qualifier number 5, and we're on the trot here with a field of 8. Number 1 is Eiffel Power, a My MVP colt owned by Glenn Dyke, trained by Blake McIntosh. Bob McClure drives. $23,000 Ontario Select purchase. 2 is Soar Higher, gelded son of Resolve, owned by Back Stable, Brad Grant, Dave Hudson, Harbor Racing Stable, trained by Matt Bax. He'll also do the driving. A $120,000 Lexington Select purchase. 3 is Catch a Thief, International Money Colt, owned by Steve Heimbecker, trained by Amanda Fine. Louis Waugh drive, $70,000 Harrisburg buy. The 4 is Emergency Landing, a tactical landing colt, owned by Gino Toscani, trained by Gary Murner. Driver Sylvan Filion, $30,000 Lexington Select graduate. 5 is Jack and Abs, Muscle Mass colt, owned by Greg McNair, Brady Doyle, and Shady Hill Racing Stable, trained by Greg McNair. Doug McNair drives, a $122,000 London Classic purchase. 6 is Wishing Spell, Trixton colt, owned by Gino Toscani, trained by Desiree Jones. Gino Toscani will do the driving, a $17,000 Lexington Select purchase. 7 is Finite, Resolve colt, owned by Coyote Wind Farms, trained by Clark Bealby, Chris Christoforou, and the Sulky, a $100,000 Harrisburg purchase. And 8 is EL Titanic, an EL Titan colt, owned by Sophie Bourgeois, trained by Francis Dumichel. James McDonald drives, $35,000 Harrisburg purchase. There's your field of 8 for qualifier number 5. Don't forget, there will be a break following this 5th qualifier, a 20-minute break coming up after qualifier 5. Trotting colts and geldings swing into the stretch. Here they come for the 5th. And they're off and trotting. Emergency Landing from the center gets a call. So too does Wishing Spell. Those 2 splitting forward. In between them was Jack and Abs. At the rail, Eiffel Power. Behind will be Soar Higher. Then on the far outside, that is Finite. We go to Catch a Thief and the early trailer, EL Titanic. They're into the first turn. Everybody looking for their position. And coming around to the lead, Wishing Spell is up front, leading it by a couple of lengths. Emergency Landing in second, Eiffel Power in third. The opening quarter was 30-3. Rookie trotting colts and geldings get set to enter the Woodbine Mohawk Park backstretch, and under a tight hold, Wishing Spell leads it by 2. Second is Emergency Landing, in third, Eiffel Power. Fourth up the backside, Jack and Abs. And in fifth is Finite. 2 more lengths back to Soar Higher. Racing in seventh, that is Catch a Thief. And the trailer eighth is EL Titanic. Single file and tightly packed is this group of 8 as they near the midway point, following the Trixton colt, Wishing Spell, who takes them past the half, in front by a length and a half. The half hit in 102-4. To the final turn they go. 32-1 in the second quarter here. We'll see if they ramp it up going around the final turn. And the leader, Wishing Spell, continues to show the way. Emergency Landing in second, 2 lengths back to Eiffel Power in third, another 2 to Jack and Abs in fourth. Then it's Finite in fifth. The racing in sixth is Soar Higher. Seventh is Catch a Thief, and EL Titanic can still see them all. The field of 8 nears 3 quarters. No change in order, and the leader has been Wishing Spell, who's going to get them to the third marker, as right on the back of that one is Emergency Landing, ready to tip in the lane. 3 quarters, 133-1 off the turn and into the stretch. And here's Emergency Landing on the outside, looking to shoot by. Wishing Spell's taken them to this point. Here coming on the outside is Jack and Abs. Between horses is Eiffel Power and Finite also into the mix. They come to the final 16th of the mile. The leader, Emergency Landing. Right behind that one is Jack and Abs. Inside Eiffel Power, and on the outside Finite, but it's going to be Emergency Landing off the 2-hole ride to win. Jack and Abs was second, Finite was third, Eiffel Power fourth, and fifth went to Soar Higher. Time of the mile was 2:02-3. Mic check 1, 2, 3. Mic check 1, 2, 3. And we resume with today's qualifiers. Qualifier number 6 moving up behind the gate. Note that Tyler Borth drives the 8. Choice is yours. 2-year-old Payson Colton Geldings won the Rider. A number Canada Limited owns and bred. Melissa Lamoureux trains. Jody Jamieson drives a Sports Writer Colt. The 2 right about now is also a Sports Writer Colt, owned by William Ham and Tom Ham, trained by Tom Ham, the driver Bob McClure. 3 Twinbee Hunger Games, Stay Hungry Colt, owned by Dr. Ian Moore, Mac Nickel, Bolton Stables, and James Miller. Dr. Ian Moore trains. Tyler Moore drives. $75,000 Harrisburg buy. 4 Let Jimmy Take Over, Big Jim Colt, owned by Greg McNair, Dan Mogridge, Jeffrey Skinner, and Todd Williams, trained by Greg McNair. The driver is Doug McNair, $32,000 London Classic buy. The 5 is a Vis-a-Vis Blue Chip, Better Select Colt, owned by Paul and Nicole Davies. Paul Davies trains and drives, $40,000 Harrisburg buy. 6 Legendary Hanover, Huntsville Colt, owned by Westwind Stable, and Eric Good, along with Mark Dumaine. Anthony Beaton trains. James McDonald drives. $260,000 yearling buy out of Lexington. 7 is Pirate Shadow, a Shadow Play Gelding, owned by Jean Tournay, Roland Trudel, and Steve Garceau. Tournay trains. Sylvain Filion drives. $12,000 Ontario Select purchase. And the 8 is Choice is Yours. Courtly Choice Gelding, owned by Liam Murphy, Stuart McIntosh, Brett Otier, Blake McIntosh trains, and the driver is Tyler Borth. Here they come for the 6th. And they're off and pacing here in qualifier number 6. And Pirate Shadow from the outside is storming forward. Also coming away well is Vis-a-Vis Blue Chip. Then it is Twinbee Hunger Games. Down to the rail to the Rider. Outside then is Choice is Yours. Back to the cones to right about now, followed by Let Jimmy Take Over. And the early trailer is Legendary Hanover. Into the first turn, and Sylvain Filion and Pirate Shadow out in front by 5. Make that 6 lengths approaching the opening quarter. In second is Vis-a-Vis Blue Chip. The opening panel was 29-1. So it is Pirate Shadow all alone as they straighten out for the backstretch. Second is Vis-a-Vis Blue Chip. Then in third is the Rider. Fourth into the backside, Twinbee Hunger Games. Then in fifth is Choice is Yours. Ahead of right about now 6. Break of 2.5 back to Let Jimmy Take Over. And the trailer is Legendary Hanover. So the leader all by himself, Pirate Shadow, has this gelded son of Shadow Play. His second qualifier, he is leading it by a half dozen lengths. In second is Vis-a-Vis Blue Chip as they're by the midway point in 59 seconds flat. Second quarter was paced in 29-4. On to the final turn go the rookie pacers, and it still is Pirate Shadow the leader. Second, Vis-a-Vis Blue Chip, 2 more lengths back to the Rider in third, another 2 to Twinbee Hunger Games fourth, another 2 lengths then to Choice is Yours fifth. 4 more lengths going back to right about now with about 3 lengths then to Let Jimmy Take Over and the trailer Legendary Hanover. So the lead shrinks a little bit here now for Pirate Shadow as Vis-a-Vis Blue Chip is only a length and a half off the leader. 3 quarters, 128-3. They spin for home. It's been Pirate Shadow since the word go. This one trying to go all the way. Here comes Vis-a-Vis Blue Chip on the outside. Twinbee Hunger Games. The Rider is in behind horses. Into the final 1/8 of the mile. Trying to dig in at the rail is Pirate Shadow. Vis-a-Vis Blue Chip goes face to face and tries to go on by Vis-a-Vis Blue Chip. Now here comes Twinbee Hunger Games, and on the far outside rushing up, Choice is Yours. Vis-a-Vis Blue Chip in the center. Twinbee Hunger Games got it. Twinbee Hunger Games. Vis-a-Vis Blue Chip in a photo with Choice is Yours for second. 157 flat. Gate is rolling. Qualifier number 7 is next. Field is 7 lining up. Note Louis Waugh drives the 1 Liege Sealster. And number 6, exactly my type. The driver will be Sylvain Filion. 1 Liege Sealster is a Bettor's Delight colt owned by Mac and Carol Nickel, trained by Anthony Beaton. The driver will be Louis Waugh, a $125,000 London Classic yearling sale purchase. Bet the BB is an all bets off colt. That's number 2. Travis Cullen, the breeder, owner, driver. Jody Cullen trains. 3. A Star Was Born. This is a Bettor's Delight colt owned by Let It Ride Stables, Michael Hall and Hutt Racing Stable. Dr. Ian Moore trains. Tyler Moore drives. $70,000 Harrisburg buy. 4 is Bring It On Home to Me, a Sunshine Beach gelding owned and bred by Millar Farms, trained by Nick Colucci. James McDonald drives. 5 is Mac Wow, a McWicked colt owned by Hutt Racing Stable. Blake McIntosh trains. Bob McClure in the bike. $35,000 Lexington purchase. 6 is Exactly My Type, Sunshine Beach gelding owned by Robert McIntosh Stables Incorporated. Now McIntosh Holdings Incorporated. Bob McIntosh trains. Make the driver Sylvain Filion. And the 7 is Aaronwood Big Rig. He's Watching colt owned by Carl Jameson, Trevor Edwards, and Harry Loynes. Trainers Carl Jameson, the drivers Jody Jameson, a $95,000 London Classic purchase. Starting gate, into the stretch. Here they come for qualifier number 7. And they're off and pacing. A Star Was Born goes well from post position number 3. Liege Sealster looking calm from the rail as Waugh looks to his right. And we'll see Aaronwood Big Rig also come forward. So out in front early, A Star Was Born. Aaronwood Big Rig second, and Liege Sealster is third. Inside fourth is Bet the BB, just so that one's outside. Is Bring It On Home to Me. Then we go back to Mac Wow in the trailer, Exactly My Type. To the opening quarter, and A Star Was Born is up front to lead it for Tyler Moore. The opening panel was 30-3. So A Star Was Born takes them into the backstretch, out in front by 2 from Aaronwood Big Rig. Second outing for Aaronwood Big Rig. That one rides in the 2-hole for the time being. In third is Liege Sealster. Fourth is Bet the BB. Then in fifth is Bring It On Home to Me. 2 more lengths back to Mac Wow, and Exactly My Type can see them also about from front to back. 9 lengths probably separates this group of 7 as they go up towards the midway point. A Star Was Born off a 30-3 opener. It's going to take them to the half, out in front by a length and a half on Aaronwood Big Rig. Midway point reached in 102-2. So they weren't going too much there in the second quarter. 31-4 was that split, and now it'll turn into some sprinting in the back half as A Star Was Born starts to ramp it up a notch. Second is Aaronwood Big Rig, who will stick right there. Third is Liege Sealster. Then in fourth, that is Bet the BB. 2 more lengths to Bring It On Home to Me. Then a break of about 4.5 going back to Mac Wow and the trailer, Exactly My Type. 3/4 is coming up next, and A Star Was Born races by that marker in 132 flat, so they'll come off the turn and into the stretch. They went a third quarter in 29-3. A Star Was Born has got them to this point, tries to seal the deal. Aaronwood Big Rig off the pocket trip to the outside, trying to shoot on by. A Star Was Born, Aaronwood Big Rig. Liege Sealster is third. Inside fourth, Bet the BB, and then in behind is Bring It On Home to Me. As they come towards the edge of the tote board, Aaronwood Big Rig came on by, and Aaronwood Big Rig will draw clear late to win it. Star Was Born was second. Third went to Liege Sealster. Inside fourth, Bet the BB, and Bring It On Home to Me was fifth. 2 minutes flat. Gate getting set to move into position. Qualifier number 8 is next. Field of 8. Note that Sylvan Filion drives the 4, Do Better. Bob McClure drives the 8, Spring Blake. 1 is Wikipedia, a McWicked colt owned by SSG Stables, trained by Tony Beaton. The driver is James McDonald, $42,000 Lexington buy. 2 is Clever Cody. This is a 2-year-old colt by the Ponderosa, trained by Dr. Ian Moore. Tyler Moore drives, owned by Francois Lecomte, Michael Goldberg, Gordon McComb, and RG McGroup Limited. $24,000 yearling purchase from the Ohio Select Sale. 3 is Giggity Giggity Giggity, a sports rider colt owned by RAW Equine, SNR Racing Stable, trained by Renee Dion. Tyler Borth drives. 4 Do Better, Gelded Son of Better's Delight, owned by Bob McIntosh Stables, Al McIntosh Holdings, Mardon Stables, Bob McIntosh trains. Driver will be Sylvan Filion. 5 is Jimmy Billy B, Big Jim colt, owned by John Stamatis and Greg McNair. Greg McNair trains. Doug McNair drives. $18,000 London Classic purchase. The 6 is The Fix, Better's Delight colt, owned by Jeffrey Corshane, Mart West Racing, and Princeton Farms, trained by Gabby Sasso. Jody Jameson drives. $40,000 London Classic graduate. 7 is Dandy's Pandemic, betting line colt, owned by Happens for a Reason Stable, Acurie CSL, 917479998 Quebec Incorporated, along with Claude Grodin. Francis Dumichel trains. Driver is Louis Waugh, $7,000 yearling buy out of Harrisburg. And number 8, Spring Blake, Courtly Choice son, owned by Hutt Racing Stable, Blake McIntosh, Ozzie McKay, and Robert McNeil. Blake McIntosh trains. The driver will be Bob McClure, a $30,000 Harrisburg buy. Gate swings into the stretch. Here they come for qualifier number 8. And they're off and pacing. And from the center towards the outside, Jimmy Billy B. That one trying to get out of there straight and strong. Far outside is Spring Blake, who will be quickest of them all. Do Better getting away third. To that one saddle pad is Dandy's Pandemic. Then we go to Clever Cody, followed by Wikipedia. A couple of lengths going back to Giggity Giggity Giggity. And then the trailer is The Fix. To the opening quarter they go. And Spring Blake is up top by 3, racing to that opening marker. So Spring Blake is there in 29 and 4. They'll get set to come out of the first turn. Second qualifier here for Spring Blake. Trying to put it all together here this morning, up front by 5. Second is Jimmy Billy B. A few lengths going back to racing in third. Do Better. Off stride in fourth when Dandy's Pandemic. That one taken to the safety lane by Waugh. Clever Cody got around unfazed. Then it is Wikipedia, back to Giggity Giggity, and the trailer is The Fix. Approaching the midway point, still a loose leader. This is Spring Blake, who is by the half in 1 minute and a fifth. Second quarter was paced in 30 and 2. On to the final turn, it's still Spring Blake. Second, Jimmy Billy B. Then in third is Do Better. Fourth and getting underway is Clever Cody. That one being tracked by Wikipedia. And now starting to pick it up is Giggity Giggity Giggity. Back to The Fix, and back onto the track, Dandy's Pandemic after that second quarter break. But it's still Spring Blake. They haven't touched him yet. He's down to 3/4, leading it by 3 lengths, and is past that station in 1:29 and 4. 29 and 3, third quarter. Into the stretch, Spring Blake with the lead. Second is Jimmy Billy B. In the center, that is Do Better. Far outside, trying to come on is Clever Cody. In behind is Wikipedia. Into the final 1/8 of the mile. Slap of the wheel disc for Spring Blake, who's trying to go all the way. Unleashed now is Do Better in the center, and on the far outside, Clever Cody. And in behind, Wikipedia's got pace. Coming down to the wire. In the center, this is Do Better. Do Better gets up to take it. Outside second, that was Clever Cody. Third went to Spring Blake. Then fourth was Wikipedia. And fifth was Jimmy Billy B. 1:57 and 2. Up next is qualifier number 9. We have trotters here in the 9th qualifier. Scratch down to a field of 8. Take out number 2, Bronzer. Note that Gino Toscani will drive number 6, Well Met. For qualifier number 9, number 1 is Twinbee Showboat. Tactical Landing Colt, read by Twinbrook Limited, trained by Francis Dumichel. The driver is James McDonald. 2 is out. 3 is Game Stats, a My MVP gelding owned by Chad Hill. Kimberly Jensen, trained by Chad Hill. The driver's Beau Brown, $15,000 Ontario Select purchase. 4 is Bitcoin Magic. This is the Bank Colt owned by Maggie Jones and Jody Simmons, trained by Keith Jones. The driver will be Tyler Borth, $21,000 yearling buy out of Harrisburg. 5 is Slaying the Day Away, a muscle mass colt owned and bred by Celeste Hill, trained by Keelan Green. Eddie Green drives. 6 is Well Met, a Walner colt owned by Gino Toscani. He'll do the driving, trained by Desiree Jones. This is a $55,000 Lexington Select purchase. 7 is Alexander, gelded son of Muscle Mass, owned by Backstable, Glengate Farms, Don Allenson. Matt Bax trains and drives. 8 is Muscle Detector, an alarm detector colt owned by Greg McNair, Dean Lockhart, Tom Rankin, and Trojan Horse, trained by Greg McNair. Doug McNair in the sulky, $48,000 London Classic graduate. And the 9 is Lovin' Presley, a Father Patrick colt owned by Gino Toscani, trained by Gary Murner. The driver is Sylvan Filion, and this was a $46,000 Lexington Select purchase. So that's your field of 8 with the scratch at number 2. Rookie trotting colts and geldings taking their positions. Starting gate to the top of the stretch. Trotters picking up speed here. They come for the 9th. They're off and trotting. A break at the beginning for Game Stats. Jumping out from the center goes Well Met to the early lead. Outside Lovin' Presley is going to push forward. So too does Alexander from the center to the inside. That's Slaying the Day Away, who got away 4th. Trotting up there into 5th is Muscle Detector. 6th then is Twinbee Showboat. 7th will be Bitcoin Magic. And the breaker, that is Game Stats. Another one going off stride. Lovin' Presley makes a break there as they're going around the first turn. So it's Well Met up front. Leads it through an opening quarter of 29 and 2. Into the backstretch go the trotters. Well Met and Gino Toscani show the way. In second, that is Alexander, tightening up from 3rd, Slaying the Day Away. Break of 5 lengths going back to Muscle Detector in 4th. 5th up the backside is Twinbee Showboat. Then racing in 6th, that is Bitcoin Magic, followed 7th by Slaying the Day Away. And then we go back to the trailer. That is Game Stats. They're near the midway point, and it's going to be Gino Toscani and Well Met leading it by a couple of lengths. The half was hit in 1 minute and 3/5. On to the final turn they go. Well Met leads it. Alexander is 2nd. 3rd, that continues to be Slaying the Day Away. In 4th is Muscle Detector, followed by Twinbee Showboat in 5th. We go back then to Bitcoin Magic 6th. Lovin' Presley is off stride again there 7th. And the trailer is Game Stats. Up towards 3/4 they approach. And going so far this way on the front has been Well Met. After riding in 3rd in his qualifying debut, he does the heavy lifting this morning down to 3/4 in 1:31 and 1. They're off the turn and into the stretch. Well Met comes out a couple of lanes and has company in the form of Alexander on the outside, who tries to overtake. Lots of room up the rail for Muscle Detector. Also into the mix, Slaying the Day Away, and Twinbee Showboat will fan widest of them all. 5 across as they come into the final 16th. Alexander in the dead center. To that one's left, that's been Well Met up the inside Muscle Detector, and on the far outside comes Slaying the Day Away, and Twinbee Showboat widest of them all. Twinbee Showboat got it. Muscle Detector was 2nd, 3rd went to Slaying the Day Away, 4th Alexander, and 5th was Well Met. Time of the mile 2:01 and 1. And time now for our final qualifier, or I should say our second last qualifier, number 10 here on this Friday. We have a group of pacers taking their positions. Field of 8, one driver change. Mark McDonnell drives number 6, Proven Myself. 1 is Sinatra Hanover. Better's Delight Colt, owned by Westwind Stable. Mark Dumaine and John Fielding, trained by Anthony Beaton. James McDonald drives. $100,000 Harrisburg yearling buy. 2 Asher's Basher. Gelded son of Better's Delight, owned by Hutt Racing Stable. Blake McIntosh, Mortgage Boys Stable, and Linda Bedard. Blake McIntosh trains Tyler Borth in the sulky. $35,000 Harrisburg purchase. 3 at the Sports Desk is a Sports Rider Colt, owned by Paul Reed, Patrick Dillon, Richard Beinhauer, and Brian Kleinberg. Trained by Paul Reed, Scott Young in the bike. 4 is Psychopath, a Stag Party Colt, owned by Let It Ride Stables, Frank Cannon and James Miller. Trained by Dr. Rhea Moore, Tyler Moore steers. 5 is Be Right There, a Sunshine Beach Colt, owned by Bob McIntosh Stables, Al McIntosh Holdings, and Craig Walwyn, trained by Bob McIntosh. James McDonald drives. Number 6, Proven Myself, is a Big Jim Colt, owned by Travis Cullen, Jody and Ron Cullen. Trained by Jody Cullen, the driver is Mark McDonnell. 7 is Strapper Hanover, a Stay Hungry Colt, owned by Steve Heimbecker. Amanda Fine trains Louis Waugh on the bike. $150,000 Harrisburg purchase. And the 8 is Manhawk, a Stag Party Colt, owned by M&L of Delaware, trained by Scott McEnany. And the driver, that is Bob McClure, $22,000 Harrisburg buy. Jonathan Drury drives the 1 Sinatra Hanover. Mark McDonnell drives the 6 Proven Myself. Bob McClure drives the 8 Manhawk. Here they come for the 10th. And they're off and pacing. There goes Asher Basher out to the early advantage. The Sports Desk is going to follow his neighbor right up there towards the front. Getting away 3rd, Sinatra Hanover, and dropping in 4th will be Manhawk. In front of Psychopath, who got away 5th. 6th towards the first turn is Be Right There. Then in 7th, that is Strapper Hanover, and the trailer 8th is Proven Myself. They're into the first turn. Asher's Basher will lead it. That leave short-lived, though. Out from 2nd, looping to the top is the Sports Desk, opening quarter, 30 seconds flat. So it's the Sports Desk up to take the lead here for Young. That one leads them into the backstretch by 2.5 lengths from Asher's Basher in 2nd. 3rd is Sinatra Hanover. Then racing in 4th is Manhawk, about 6 lengths going back to Psychopath, who is being tracked by Be Right There. 7th up the backside, Strapper Hanover, and the trailer 8th is Proven Myself. The Sports Desk, this Sports Rider Colt, leads the way by a couple of lengths, and it will take them to the midway point. Looking good on the lead here. Going to race by the half in a minute and 3/5. On to the final turn. Go with the rookie pacing Colts and Geldings. 30-3 in the second quarter, and the Sports Desk is going to stretch the lead out here now. So starts to rock into the final turn, leads it by a half dozen lengths from Asher's Basher in 2nd. Sinatra Hanover's been latched onto that one's back in 3rd. 2 lengths going to Manhawk in 4th. The break of 4 lengths then to Psychopath, who is 5th. 6th around the final turn, Be Right There. 7th, that is Strapper Hanover, and Proven Myself rounds things out. But this is the Sports Desk who opened up on them in the third quarter, 129-1. Off the turn and into the stretch, a 28-3 third panel, and it's all the Sports Desk. Now in 2nd, Sinatra Hanover, who went around Asher's Basher. Manhawk is on the outside in 4th. Final 8th of the mile is coming up. Sinatra Hanover is trying to reel in the Sports Desk. The Sports Desk with a 16th to go, seeing the lead shrink. Here comes Sinatra Hanover on the outside, and that one will come on by. Sinatra Hanover finishing in 2nd, the Sports Desk, and then 3rd is Manhawk. 4th is going to go to, it was tight. It might have been Asher's Basher or Be Right There. 157-2. Final qualifier for this Friday from Woodbine Mohawk Park. It's qualifier number 11. 2-year-old Payson Colts and Geldings are moving up to take their positions. The 1, Minette, is an Always Be Mickey colt owned by Dr. Ian Moore, Mac Nickel, Bolton Stables, Reg Pettypaw, trained by Dr. Ian Moore. Jody Jameson drives, $135,000 yearling buy out of Harrisburg. Number 2, Family Secret, a gelded son of Courtly Choice, owned by Hut Racing Stable, Blake McIntosh and Linda Bedard. Blake McIntosh trains. Tyler Borth will drive, $39,000 Goshen buy. 3 is Stopwatch, gelded son of He's Watching, owned by Greg McNair, Jim Newton, Bloomingwood Farms Limited, and Paul Kidd. Trained by Greg McNair. Doug McNair drives. 4 is Champ Kind, sports writer colt, owned by Paul and Nikki Davies. Trained by Paul Davies. He'll drive. $20,000 yearling purchase out of the Ontario Select Sale. 5 is Best Night Ever, a better than cheddar colt, owned by Anthony Beaton, David Mercer, and Westwind Stable. Beaton trains. James McDonald drives. $19,000 Lexington purchase. The 6 is Nijinsky. That is a Better's Delight colt owned by Westwind Stable, John Fielding, Mark Dumaine, trained by Anthony Beaton. Jonathan Drury will drive, $120,000 Harrisburg purchase. 7 is Control the Piper, Control the Moment colt owned by Dan Legacy, Tim Murray, trained by Legacy. It'll be Bob McClure in the sulky, $27,000 Harrisburg purchase. And the 8, Capiche, Better's Delight colt. It's owned by Joe Tonelli. Sean Arnott trains. Travis Cullen drives. There's your field of 8. Qualifier number 11, our final on this Friday from Mohawk Park. And they're off and pacing here in qualifier number 11. Minette is going well from the rail. Outside starters, Control the Piper and Capiche, trying to get up into the upper half of this group, but we see Family Secret and Stopwatch going to follow that rail starter. So they're going to line up 1, 2, 3. Then you're going to find Control the Piper 4th, followed by Capiche in 5th. 6th to the first turn is Champ Kind. 7th is Best Night Ever, and Nijinsky is the trailer. They're into the first turn, and Minette is leading it up top by a couple here for Jody Jameson. Opening quarter, 30-1. It's Minette as they go into the backstretch. Family Secret races 2nd. 3rd is Stopwatch. In 4th, that is Control the Piper, followed 5th by Capiche. 3 or so lengths going back then to that being Champ Kind. We had a breaker off stride, went Stopwatch. Stopwatch made a break there coming out of the first turn. We'll check in 6th with Champ Kind, followed 7th by Best Night Ever, and Nijinsky the trailer in 8th. So Minette continues to lead and nears the midway point, up top by a length and a half from Family Secret in 2nd. The half was 1 minute and 4/5. Pacers go into the final turn. They follow Minette. Family Secret. 3rd is Control the Piper. In 4th is Capiche. Racing 5th is Champ Kind. On the outside, that is Stopwatch. Inside to the rail, 7th is Best Night Ever. In the trailer in 8th is Nijinsky. So as they're halfway around the final turn, the Always Be Mickey colt Minette continues to lead it, trying to pick it up now. Jameson calling on that one. Family Secret in 2nd, sticking right there. And 3rd is Control the Piper. 3/4, 1:30-2. Off the turn and into the stretch, a 29-3 third quarter. Minette trying to go coast to coast. Family Secret now to the outsides, trying to shoot by. Control the Pipers coming on up. In 4th is Capiche. Then we go back to Champ Kind, followed by Best Night Ever. Between horses Nijinsky and the trailer Stopwatch. Coming into deep stretch. Minette digging in. Up to the wheel was Family Secret. Not going to get any closer. Minette takes it. Family Secret 2nd. 3rd went to Control the Piper in 1:58 flat.